Yes, it's What a Boast, a celebration of Reeves and Mortimer. Please welcome your hosts for this podcast, MJ Price and Paula Wiseman. Hello and welcome to Quite a Boast, a podcast dedicated to the work and genius of Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer. My name is Matt Price, founder of the Reeves and Mortimer Depository of Curious Stuff Facebook group.
And I am Paula Wiseman, founder and creator of the Divine Comedians podcast.
Today, we are joined by a performer who has had a long and varied career in show business. After playing drums for a number of groups, he went on to create a truly unique comedy act that nobody had ever seen the like of before. In 1993, Vic and Bob invited him to take on the role of Uncle Peter in the Smell of Reeves Mortimer, and he became an instant fan favourite. He has continued to entertain on stage and screen ever since, I'll tell you that. Please enter the Novelty Island paddock, Dave Kear, a.k.a. Charlie Chuck.
Hey!
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Hello.
Great to have you
nice
with us.
To be here.
So, we'll briefly go through your early career. So you started out as a drummer before comedy came along, is that right?
I did. I started out as a drummer. I worked at the Bridgecraft Upholstery in Leeds. There were 200 upholsterers worked there. I was 15 years old, and I met this man called Bert Pearson. He was ready for retiring. Now, Bert Pearson went to America with Fred Carno's opera, with Charlie Chaplin and Stan Laurel.
Wow.
And when he came back, it didn't happen for him. He obviously wasn't discovered. He became a Perrier clown at Bridlington, Scarborough, Yarmouth, and that's where he finished his life. Now, he used to say to me, as a 15-year-old, learning upholstery, go and help silly old Bert. Now, they called him that because they were always coming out with different things. So, silly old Bert were a wealth to me, and he changed my life because when he'd been a comedian, he taught me pratfalls, he taught me monologues, he taught me different sort of accents, and he said to me, join the Cosmopolitan Players. That's the drama in Leeds, the Cosmopolitan Players at Leeds Civic Theatre. So I joined them, and he said, learn to play an instrument. And I picked drums because a man called Michael Jacobson, that was with the Leeds Honeycombs, he taught me for 50 pence, half a crown, if you like, whatever it was, I can't remember now. And he taught me drums, and he used to cycle to him from Crossgates in Leeds to Brackenwood to have this lesson. And he taught me all rhythms. But Bert Pearson changed the course of my life because when I got to 17 and a half, 18, I turned professional. But before I turned professional, I just want to make a comment here, I'll call it a comment. Before I turned professional, like Bob Mortimer, I became a dustbin man. And I strained myself on the dustbins, and they put me on road sweeping. So I was picking up dead dogs.
Oh, no.
And I was playing with the mice at the cemetery with a big shovel. So mice couldn't get away. I didn't kill them, but that's what happened. And then all of a sudden, from that, I turned professional. We had a big gig to do at Battersea Park in London for the News of the World. And when I went there, I met the likes of Roger Moore, James Mason, Cheyenne Bodie, the Bonanza team, all the bands you want to mention, Freddie and the Dreamers, the Rockin' Buddies, all this lot, Searchers, they were all there. And I had a meet with basically half of the Carry On team, and I was sat against the Pretty Things, the band as well. But the point I'm making is, when I'd seen all this and met all these people, on Friday night, before I went down there, I'd put my barrel away with my flask at side and my transistor radio, because I used to listen to Radio Caroline. And I did a gig down again, Bognor Regis. I could see Radio Caroline ship
Right.
And Donovan was on that night, and he left his Mossicans, which I had. Donovan. But back to what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, when I come back from Battersea Park, on Friday, I was a road sweeper. And on Monday, when I got back after being amongst the stars, we all turned professional. And that was in August. Then how we got Battersea Park, we was on with the Trogs, but the Trogs wasn't famous. I was with a band called the Mama's Little Children, and the Trogs were just nothing, like we were nothing. But obviously, Eddie Dahl, that managed us, he got the Trogs to number one hit, as you know, with the Wild Thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they went on to do that. But we turned professional in August after that, Battersea Park. We went to Germany in October, and I was on with Bill Haley and the Comets and the Story Club in Frankfurt. So for 1 minute, I'm a note. At next minute, I mean, wages at that time as a road sweeper, but I think were 11 guineas. And when I went out there, I was picking up £33 for just being a little psychedelic band. That's the secret of the Wrecking Drums. So I did that. So I turned professional at that. What happened then? But you're back to Vic. Where will I now?
It was quite common then when a lot of old rock and rollers came over from the States, like Bill Haley and Gene Vincent. When they come over, they'd have European musicians backing them, wouldn't they?
Yeah. You reminded me. When I was in Germany, I was entertaining British troops in Bremen. Then I did Stuttgart, Wiesbaden, Mainz, Würzburg, all these places, entertaining American troops. Now, yes, they did. They came over with floor shows. There were the likes of Charlie and Nina's Fox, Solomon Burke, Rufus Thomas. All these people were coming over. And they're absolutely, you can imagine 1 minute I'm a road sweeper. Anyway, what happened there? Now, the thing is, we got to know these people because we did a month at each base. Because I went out there a few times, 5 years in all. But I went out there month after month, different months. And they didn't want to go to Vietnam. This was the saddest part. For me, it was the best years of my life. I was 19 years old, 20, whatever, and I was really enjoying myself. But the troops were scared stiff. They used to shoot themselves in the foot. A lad called Tom, poor chap, he shot himself through the head. He didn't want to go to Vietnam. It scared him that much of all going off. And I got stabbed in Germany by 2 GIs. And when I was with a girl from Ireland at that time. She was a bit drunk. And I wasn't drunk because I'd never drunk, didn't drink. Anyway, they stabbed me in my shoulder. But before they did that, they stabbed a sergeant on American soil, on their base. Now, I wondered why they didn't go any further, not just stab me in the shoulder, but it's because they didn't want to go to Vietnam. So they got done for stabbing an Englishman on German soil.
Right.
That kept them in Germany.
Oh, wow.
And they got 8 years or something, but they didn't go to Vietnam.
Yeah.
And I never knew till great years on why they would do that.
That's crazy.
And anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. But other than that, it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you bring comedy into your act? And were you a comedy fan growing up?
Well, I've always been a bit of a comedy person. I've always been, a bit daft. But that came from my mother and father. My mother was as daft as a brush. She taught gibberish. She said it's eeny, meeny, macaracalera, dumbaracra, all this nonsense. And my dad used to say, why are you telling him all that rubbish? Why don't you talk sense to him? Because my dad, to me, was a clever man. He gave me a great foundation. He was a coal miner from Castleford, and he was the oldest of 6. And when he was 13, he left school on a Friday, and on the Monday, he was on the pit top. They were down the pit, basically, for the next 30 odd years. So why am I telling you that? So the comedy. So the comedy. Well, the comedy, that's where it comes from. So if you analyse my act, you see a lot of my dad in there talks clever stuff. and a lot of my mum, which is absolute rubbish. And like I said, Bert Pearson, he taught me magic as well. So a magician as well. I was a bit of an all-rounder, really. And I never used sexism. I never used. It was all a bit like Tommy Cooper, really. That kind of an act I always did, visual. I was very visual.
Yeah. Were you playing like the Northern Club circuit?
I did. I played everywhere. I really did. I really did. I mean, it's been a long
way. So, how did the Charlie Chuck character? How did it all come about initially?
Well, Bert Pearson took me down that road. I realised you got more. I started playing organ, and I realised you get more money for falling off my drums rather than being somebody clever.
Yeah.
So I was always in comedy. I was the Amazing Bavarian Stompers for 10 years, and that was brilliant because it's happy music. Plus the fact I went to Germany with them. I did Tis Was, and I did Fame Game. I come on with a live piglet in Fame Game, give it a banana, and talk stuff like Edinburgh way, flipping the bow, ancient bow, I'll tell you that. And that's how I spoke to Pig. You know. So
there were a few of those sort of comedy music crossover bands like Barron Knights and Grumbleweeds and Black Abbots around that time, weren't there?
Well, all you've just mentioned, I know them all. Russ Abbott, the drummer, I stayed at his house in Clwyd in North Wales. What else did he mention? I've had something to do with it. The Grumbleweeds I knew right well because I am from Leeds, and the Grumbleweeds were. We did a competition once, Mama's Little Children, the Glen Eagles at that time, and it was at the Queen's Hall, just after Otis Redding had been there. And it was about the bands, all the bands around Yorkshire, Harrogate, and all this lot. And the Grumbleweeds won it, actually. They won the big competition, but because of Dave Campton. But and I know them quite well.
Yeah. So did you, in the 80s, did you move down when the alternative comedy scene sort of started in London? Did you have some involvement with Malcolm Hardee and people like that?
Well, Malcolm Hardee, Malcolm Hardee, Malcolm was there. I got to know him really, really well. With Malcolm, he advertised for unusual acts, and I went to Nottingham and I met him. And I wrecked my drums, of course, to take backing. And then what coincided with that was Sky Star Search, you see, because I won the semi-finals. I went on there 5 times. I won the semi-finals. I was in the finals. And I did the finals on Sunday, but on the Saturday of that time, I did The Happening with Jules Holland. Malcolm Hardee got me on that, and I did it for Miles Ross. Did quite a few programs for Miles Ross, but it was strange because this will make you laugh. It didn't make me laugh. But when I did The Happening, it was Savoy, massive BSB at the time, and I was going like this, like Charlie, Chuck, 1,000 people, and somebody said, "Taxi outside for Charlie Chuck, taxi outside."
He was born.
But the next day, I was doing the finals of Sky Star Search, and it was absolutely, but what I hadn't done at that time, I'd not turned fully over to alternative comedy. I went to Edinburgh. Right, now when I went to Edinburgh, I think 1990, now, my dad died in May. So June, July, August, 3 months later, now my dad said to me before he died, make progress, lad, and all that lot. But cut a long story short, I got a spiritual experience when my dad died. Spirit lived his body when he died. But to jump to 3 months later on, out of all the venues at Edinburgh, thousands of venues, they put me on Old St. Paul's in Edinburgh in the crypt. And in the crypt, it was full of cobwebs and stuff like that. It was the worst place you could ever go to. It wasn't fully fledged. Anyway, when I went in that night, there were 2 people in the audience, and the woman said to me, "If I were you, put your hair down and don't bother going on." And she's 4 more people have come in. That were Vic Reeves, Bob Mortimer, behaving badly, Patrick Clums, Martin Clums, and Channel X, forget his name now, Eddie Channel X.
Alan
Mark, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I didn't know they were in the audience. I just went out there and I always got told to put on a proper show, and I did. I wrecked my jump kit, threw them all over the place, and that was that. End of story. Yeah. And then a couple of nights later, before I knew it, I was on with John Thompson, Simon Day at another venue with Malcolm Hardee. So I was only up there a week, and it was a lot of time of my life at that time as well, in a sense. But I went on with John Thompson, like I say, and there were 300 people in the audience then, 300. And then I finished up bumping at Vic and Bob at the Gilded Balloon. We swapped T-shirts, and Vic says to me, "Do you want to come in Saturday?" And there were about 1,000 people then. And they stood Simon Day down because they wanted me to go on. Right. And we got changed, and they wanted to see if I could maybe hold an audience, which I could. And it went well after that. So that was it. Now then, this is the point I'm making. When I got my TV series, when they offered the TV series, in episode 6, which I meant to bring you to show you, because I've still got that script, in it, Vic Reeves dies in it, and his spirit leaves his body, and Bob Mortimer's singing about baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Right? And they get me to do the best part that I could have possibly done at that time, and that was singing, because Daddy, I miss you.
Yeah.
And it says, and the script would say, Peter cries uncontrollably. Well, that come easy, you know. And there was a part where I was supposed to say, and Bob might remember this if he listens, when I'm supposed to say, my God. And I says, my goodness. And he pulled me to one side. He says, no, can you say my God? And I said, no, I can't say my God. I'm saying my goodness. And he understood. He says, oh, fair enough. So that's just a little bit of a story.
Yeah. So the Smell of Reeves Mortimer started in 1993. And Uncle Peter was born. Did you see any difference between Charlie Chuck, the live act, to Uncle Peter, the character, or were you just told to do whatever you did?
No. They told me just do whatever I did.
Yeah.
But it was Charlie Chuck. I didn't want to put my name out as Charlie Chuck like that, because that was Uncle Peter, played by Charlie Chuck. So I did that. But what I liked about it was lovely. What I liked about Smell of Reeves Mortimer, a couple of reasons. Because I got to know Mike Watton. Yeah, Mike, lovely Mike Watton. And I took him with me for 20 years after that. And also Matt Lucas, who I got talking to in Edinburgh. In my book that's coming out, my favourite people is Matt Lucas and Mike Watton. What we call him now? Mackenzie Crook. So I travelled around with Mackenzie a lot. And a few of us anyway. But that's what I picked up off Smell of,
Someone else you worked with on the Smell was Trevor Peacock in Uncle Peter's band. And he was on the keyboards in like a red leotard. And you're on the drums.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a weird band. But Trevor Peacock, he did well, as we know, as well. Yeah, it was nice enough man,
Yeah.
But I only saw him occasionally. Do you know what I mean? I went in his company for all the old series,
Yeah. No, but I mean, were you recognised regularly after that in the street? Because it was Vic and Bob were top of their game at the time, yeah.
Well, that's right. It worked well because it came all at once. James Whale was the man that discovered me and made it happen. And it coincided with Sky Star Search, and then the biggie, of course, was Vic and Bob, because I think James Whale and Sky Star Search went out to maybe 2,000-3,000, but with Vic and Bob, it went out to, I would say, around about 5,000. So there's 9,000 in all as well. But without a doubt, Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer, put me on the map. you know, and I've got to thank him for that, you know, as I have with James Whale as well, you know.
So how much input did you have, Dave, into your character when you were working with Vic and Bob? Did you kind of write all your own stuff, or?
Well, it was just a matter of saying my own stuff, really.
Yeah.
Which wasn't a lot, if you know what I mean.
But now and again, obviously there was something that was in the script that to lead to like Otis Redding and Marvin Gaye or something like that. So
well, you mentioned that because it was Bob Mortimer that suggested it's my snooker out.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good touring around with them and everything. I quite enjoyed it. I used to play this game called Pigs. Right. Checking these pigs that's how the land upside down. Yeah. But, good.
So when you went on the road with Vic and Bob with the tour, how did their audiences react to your act?
That must have been crazy times.
It was very nice. I loved it. It was really nice. You know, 4,000 people listening to me. You know, that was nice. I've done quite a lot in my life. It depends, you know. Yeah. Even now, I'm going to be playing Scrooge. You know,
man. This is what we want to find out about, Dave. We need to hear about everything, your whole life.
I played Scrooge at Edinburgh in 2006.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, and I did. I produced and directed The Life of John Lorry. I did all sorts.
Yeah. That must have been, How did that come about? Just going off on a tangent, because John Laurie's obviously a fascinating character.
Well, I met a man called Ian Watt, and he suited the part. We found out all we could about him. Saw John Laurie's sister and got it all together and played it well because it's an interesting life of John Laurie, you know.
Yeah.
But I did that, you know.
Yeah. So you with Mike Wattham as well. I see it's recently appeared online. Is like a pilot episode to a show that you recorded. Was it just called the Charlie Chuck Show in about 1997? Like a quiz show?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, what happened there? I'll tell you exactly what happened there. That's another story. You see, when I did the pilot to Shooting Stars with Becky Papworth, she became head of BBC. When I did that month, I got fibrillation. My heart went out of sync.
Oh, right.
I was getting my pilot from a TV series, along with I can't remember his name. Ed of Yorkshire Television did the Sky Star Search show and the Kelly show in Belfast, which is equivalent to Des O'Connor show. It was his last show on Kelly show, and it became Ed of Yorkshire Television Comedy. And when it came Ed of Comedy there, I went to see him. So basically, I was getting a TV series, but the stress of it was a bit much. So what I actually did, I thought we were going to die that night. I'd done a gig at Huddersfield, and then they rushed me off to hospital. I was out of sync badly for about 2 o'clock in the morning, well, 1:30 next day, and they were going to smack my chest to get it going again, to get it back into sync. But it went back into sync, and I stopped gigging for a bit, and I went down the aromatherapy road and stress management, and equally, I did that as well. What else did I do? Something else I was going to tell you that I did. This is what happens at age.
So you appeared in Shooting Stars briefly in the pilot episode, as you say, in 95.
Yeah, I did Shooting Stars, and that was great. I met Noddy Alder. He put me on his show. I did about 9 shows for him. Noddy Alder's actually. I got on great with Noddy Alder. He's another lovely man. Noddy is, and for plus the fact he looks like me.
I was going to say you could be twins.
But Noddy's great. I think everybody knows Noddy Alder's a good man.
Oh,
he's good. So, but anyway, I did that. I did some other stuff and all. Obviously, I did that double-decker advert, and I did a Twiglets advert, and I did a bra advert as well. And this bra advert, it zoomed in like that on my chest, and then as it come away, the camera come away, it got my head. And And everybody thought it was a woman, obviously. Until they saw my face. And then Edwin Collins, I did something with Edwin Collins, and I drummed with drummer out of Sex Pistols. That's it.
Paul Cook.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
So I did a bit of all sorts, really.
Yeah, yeah.
What else did I do? There's all sorts I've done.
Well, wasn't there a film? I've not seen it. I read about a film about Attack of the Adult Babies.
Oh yeah, there's another good man. Dominic Blunt, Paddy out of Emmerdale. Yes,
really?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what was funny. I don't watch Emmerdale. I never watched it, and I did a gig for this man called Dominic, and I didn't know it. He was just a man, and it was at Ebden Bridge around that area. And when I went there, I did my show for him. It was something to do with a wedding, something. It came across. I didn't know who it was, and I said, "I'm doing it for you." Yeah, all right. So I did it anyway. It wasn't until I saw that family. What's that family called now?
Oh, the Dingles.
The Dingles, yeah.
Well, so Dingles, I don't know what it was. And the main Dingle, he was born in April 1946, same as me.
Right.
Yeah, Dingle man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Zach Dingle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Zach, yeah.
Zach, that's him, Zach.
Yeah.
But Dominic said, "Don't want to be in a film called Bait." And I said, "Right, all right, I'll be in it." Played it myself. There's David Kear. Played it. That was all right. And they said, "Do you want to be in Attack of the Adult Babies?" Yes. So then I went in a nappy. It's another thing. But them two were good films and all that. And then I went on Emmerdale because they asked me to dress up as a baby.
Oh, you're actually on Emmerdale?
to promote it.
Oh, right.
And they opened the door and I'm stood there. Stood there with a nappy on, so that was that.
Oh, we watched it when it was Emmerdale Farm, Dave. Back in the 70s.
Yeah. You've done a few TV appearances recently. The one most memorable one I think I've seen was with Mandy, and there's you and Diane Morgan and Deborah Meaden in a jacuzzi. Something I didn't think I'd ever see.
Well, and again, you see, that was great. Dan Meaden was great because when I met her, I thought she was, like how she gives herself off on television, Dragon's Den, and she's lovely. But equally, she thought a nutcase. So she thought she was in a taxi with a nutcase, basically, because we didn't. It was just all egos. So the thing is, when I did the first take, she met me in the taxi afterwards, obviously. But when I did the first take, and I came out of the house, I said, "Get away from the door! Got someone looking at the door." I scared her. She thought I was really off my head, So it was a great take, but she was scared stiff. She thought nutcase. She really thought it was some nutcase. And I said, "Look, I'm only acting." And then, of course, I said to her, "Oh, I'm a little flower pot pecker face." And put my arms around her. She don't even know me. You can imagine, can't you? She's thinking, "Up the arms, what's this?"
Yeah.
But that was good. Mandy, I met her. She was nice. She obviously she's doing well, But yeah, she was good.
Yeah. So you've been writing your book recently, Dave. How's that going?
That should come out next year.
Yeah,
because there's that much stuff in it.
Yeah.
So how far through are you, Dave? I mean, I'm always intrigued by people that are writing autobiographies and things. How they remember. Obviously, you remember a lot of your life. You're remembering stuff from when you were 15 and stuff. So how are you managing to piece everything together for this book?
It's hard work. Because it's hard work because there's that much gone off. There's Pegleg and Bongi and people like this,
That's the thing. You're probably writing it. You go off on a tangent. That tangent leads to another tangent.
Gone off. And I've got it all in paper bags.
Oh, wow.
The man that's writing the book, Yeah, exactly. You know, is that have a brain crash because we got on stuff I've done because I
Yeah.
can't remember, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So this. I can go like that, diversify like I don't know what, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're still going out treading the boards as Charlie?
No,
Not as
I've
much.
retired. I do podcasts, but I've retired really. Uh, you know, even the show I'm doing it for charity.
Yeah.
You know, and that. But um, I'm okay. I'm happy. I've always been happy all my life. I really have. I've had
That's
a
the
great
main
life.
thing.
You know.
Yeah, as you say, what a career. I mean, from playing the drums with those bands back in the 60s
Yeah,
to Vic and Bob to dressing up as a baby in a film. Who
I
saw
know.
that coming? I mean, you've done everything. So
I have.
lucky.
Yeah. I mean, I, I started off doing a wood ram when I was 15. Um, I did the Leeds markets when I was 16. I had a car sales pitch when I was about 18 and a half. And then I bought sold houses, little houses for two, three, £4,000, 6 houses at one point. And then what else did I do? Oh, I worked with disability people for 8 years. I loved it, absolutely loved it. With Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, autism, I taught them drums, magic. I
Wow.
put on shows, and they're making £500 a night. I did the West End with them, and I got Arthur Smith to do an intro for me, and I did Edinburgh. I took him to Edinburgh, and it cost for 16 of us for 3 weeks. It cost £8,000, and it made 20. And all I did was just work there part time, and I loved it. I loved it better than the entertainment business.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know why? Because there's no animosity. There's no,
Agenda.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 And
It must be
I
so
think,
rewarding though, as well, doing stuff like that, you know?
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I thank God for all that. Absolutely. And the top of my thing is that I don't know if you know that, but I played the piano at Montreal Comedy Festival and at the 25th anniversary of it. And I was asked by Jean Lapéance, a Canadian senator, if I'd do his bit, because he was a French comedian as well. And he was about 80 at that time. And I played piano upside down. It was 25 foot in air. And I played Moonlight Sonata.
Yeah.
And I rehearsed in Paris. And I got it off to a T. And if you think of what I do on my drums, when I talk to my drums, I did it with the piano. There were 11 acts from all over the world, and this was the top act. And it was by Franco Dragoni that makes elephants disappear with David Copperfield. So when you saw the piano, you didn't see the cannon that stretched. You could only see the piano because the camouflage stayed so good, and it was 3 stories high.
Oh my God.
Basically, I mean, as I did it, I come down from the top of the ceiling, stepping down, and you got young ladies scantily dressed in awe of me, and I'm saying, get away from me, you filthy pigs, and all that. And as I approached the piano, I knocked the flowers off, and immediately they put the flowers back up again. I get onto the piano, and I put my head on piano, and there's all these people watching. Put my head on piano, started scratching my head, biting nits, and then I lift the bonnet, and I went into In the Mood, swing bass, you know, and then I stand up and I say to the piano, grand piano, don't start showing me up in front of everybody. I sit back down again, and I go into Happy Wonder like Chico Marx, the one finger job. I love to go with all that lot. And then I get up again. I say, pack it in now. And then the moon comes out. And I go, Moonlight Sonata. I sit down. I start to play Moonlight Sonata, and I sneeze. I go, hey, and sheet music goes 3 quarters across the piano. That's because Arto Brachetti, top magician, makes the sheet music. He's got a piece of cotton, so it goes 3 quarters across. I then keep playing the arpeggio as I get on my stool, take my shoes off, lay full length across the piano, still playing the arpeggio. I get the music. As I get the music, I start grinning. Then I drop it. I start crying, like I do on drums. I get back into my sitting position, get under the piano, over the top first, then under the piano, still playing it. And then as I sit back down, Arthur Bichetti came behind me and he clicks me in. He clicks me in as he turns the sheet music over. And there's a bar there that I held on, so feet are in the position. I start playing my Let's and Hearts. It goes upside down, turns right 25 foot upside down and lands. And I just woke up as if no sound.
Wow.
It's why you didn't have a fear of heights, Dave.
And if you want to another little highlight, if I'm not boring you.
We're loving it.
Well, I love this story. This is quite true. It's Paul McCartney. Now, what happened with that? I got a phone call of somebody that said to me, can I do a gig on 22nd December between 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock? I said, yeah, because I'm doing no, I put this on as a joke. But I said, yeah, of course you can. And I think I've done a little 400 quid, something like that, done and finished. He said, I'll just put you on to Mary McCartney. Mary McCartney got on the phone. She said, my dad's seen you on James Wales show. Wants to book you for a Christmas party. Is that great? I said, yeah, is that all right? She said, I'll phone you back tomorrow. And I thought it was a setup. But she phoned me back tomorrow, next day. And she said to me, when you come down here, when it's a surprise to me, Dad, don't tell him who you are. Just come down. And I'll meet you at the back door. Well, she did do. And she took one of the T-shirts, which I thought really nice. But the thing is, there were about 400 people in the audience, and I was about 8 foot away from Stella and Linda and all that lot. And the joke is, I could have killed them. But that near, when the drum kept off, I was throwing the bass drum it. But the thing is, there were 400 people in the audience, and 200 people got what we're on about alternative, but the other half didn't. So I went mainstream, so everybody was happy. Yeah. So when I did that, that was great. I met Paul, lovely man. But the thing is, when I got home, a month or two later, I got an invitation to Mary McCartney's silver birthday party. And I went down as myself. I took my wife with me at that time. And what I liked about this, they're a great family. I'm not just saying it. Mary, when I went down to Peasmarsh, the other place were an hotel somewhere. When I was talking to her, she held my hand and she said, oh, nice to see you back here. Thanks for what you did. One thing and another. And some people came up to talk to her. But she says, oh, yeah, lovely. She didn't let go of my hand. She said, I'll catch you in a minute. And she carried on talking. I thought they were really nice. She got respect. She's absolutely brilliant. And I'll never forget that. And that was great. But wow. They're a lovely bunch of people. And obviously I got to know his brother, Mike. And Mike asked me to dance on top of the Liver building. When they did the film, the Liver Birds. You know the Liver Birds?
Yeah.
On top. There's people dancing on top of the Liver building. Well, that's me with my two lads when they were younger. And my wife would give me all this. And the scaffold were played. That's Mike that was in the scaffold. They're playing. And the helicopter's going across, picks it all up, But so that's what happened. And then I did another gig for Paul McCartney at the Dome in Brighton, where he introduced me to his new wife, which was the one, I forget her name now.
Heather Mills, was it?
But Heather, yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I thought that was really nice. Yeah, that's that sort of thing. I've done all sorts of play. I mean, I could talk to you all day, but back to Vic and Bob. Yeah, they met me. They put me on the map, and travelling around with them, it was good.
Well, we've said before, they've always had a knack of finding people like yourself and Matt Lucas, Dan Skinner later on, who have found them doing their live sets and brought them into their shows as part of their world, and which has helped them get a step up the ladder. Yeah,
another chap that comes to mind actually. He's got that many names. Keith Lemon. Set record straight. Scary Spice were based on me. If you look at Scary Spice again, bastard.
Now that is a claim to fame.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's scary spicy to me. But and they'll tell you that, Keith Lemon, because I met him at the Palladium with Ross Lee, another chap, Ross Lee, and I met him and he said, "Yeah, meet somebody. It's a new anyway. Scary Spice were based on me." But anyway, just thought I'd mention that.
Yes, now we say it, it's obvious.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
We can all see it now. I mean, do you have any favourite memories of your time of working with Vic and Bob? I suppose there's been so many. I suppose it's hard to pinpoint.
Yeah. It was all good. Yeah, what I liked when I met him that night at before the Smell of, when I met him at Gilded Balloon, I went down with all we all were together that night, and it was good. It was good. It got a nice bunch of friendly people like John Hervey.
Yeah.
All these people. I forget names now, but it was a good little entourage that they had. They were all there, nice. And then things just happened like that.
Everyone we spoke to so far has been fantastic, and they do seem, as you say, a nice group. And a couple of people who've worked with you, like Matt Lucas and Mike Wattham, have had nothing but lovely things to say about you as well. So you've obviously made an impression on them as well. So it's well, thanks so much, Dave, for joining us. It's been quite a boast.
Dave, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
Before you go, Dave, would there be any chance we could hear a bit of Charlie?
Now, when I did the bread shop, there's a video shop and there's a chip shop. I can do. A man went into a video shop. He said, "I want Edward the Duck." Forgot it. Pluto and Edward the Duck over there. He said, "I want Dumbo, Pluto, and Edward the Duck over there." It says, "You can have Dumbo, you can have Pluto, but you can't have Edward the Duck over there." Something like that.
Yeah, that's fine. Anyway. Sorry, put you on the spot.
Oh, amazing.
All right then. But
thanks, Dave. Thank you all for listening to this edition of Quite a Boast. Special thanks to Matt Lucas for permission to use the Peanuts music as our theme tune, and thanks to Ed Lewis for this edit. Thank you to Jake Chesham for permission to use the photo from his 1995 shoot of Jim and Bob in our various online locations for the podcast. And of course, thank you very much to Jim Moyer and Bob Mortimer, without whom this podcast, well, it just wouldn't exist, would it? Remember to check out Paula's Divine Comedians podcast as well, and to join the Reeves Mortimer Depository of Curious Stuff Facebook group. And I think you'll agree that really was a lot of fun. Goodbye.